Welcome to the Wonder Boldly podcast, hosted by yours truly, Christine, founder of Drizzle Academy. I am going to encourage and motivate you to take action towards your big goals. I'm going to teach you everything I've learned from building a very successful 25-year career, coaching people, and starting my own online business. I am going to give you so many action items you are going to be able to wonder boldly. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Wonder Boldly. On today's episode, I want to talk all about sleep. So first thing is first. As you know, I have a program, Harness Your Morning. And in that program, we talk about finding time for yourself in the morning to work on you. But before we can do any of that, we need to get a good night's sleep. So one of the first things we do in that program is we observe our night routine. We actually do things before bed in the evening that are really going to interfere with our sleep. And I believe it's important to get serious about sleep. Sleep is paramount when it comes to mental health, physical health. You need to get a good night's sleep. And I'm not just talking, a straight 8 hours or about the amount of time. I'm also talking about the quality of sleep. So for this week's episode, I am going to give you action items. You don't have to do them all. Every little bit we do to improve ourselves in whatever area is a big accomplishment. So remind yourself of that. So for example, one of the big things that we all talk about is no devices at night. You've heard it a million times. You probably roll your eyes when you hear it. You're like, I could never do that. I use my phone as my alarm clock. I don't want to wake up my partner by having a light on and reading a book, so I'm going to read my Kindle. Whatever the excuse you have is, I want you to put those aside. I want you to write them down and just know what your excuses are and also know what your habits are. Perhaps you have a drink at night before bed to relax you. You watch TV to relax you. You think all of these things that you're doing to relax you are helping, and actually it's hindering quality sleep, which is what you really need. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the amount of time you're on your device. So different studies, you can Google this, you can do the research. There are all different studies. Some range from 30 minutes before bed to 2 hours before bed, shutting off your devices. So how much are you on your devices? I personally think that you need to plan for this. If this is not something that you think is going to be easy for you to be off your device, maybe have a job that requires you to be on a device, whatever, I really think you need to plan for it. It's not like one night you can decide, okay, I'm going to shut the phone off, I'm going to shut the TV off, I'm going to do some reading, and I'm going to get good quality sleep. With anything in life, we have to be consistent. So know what your pitfalls are. So know what those things are that you're going to have to get done before you turn off your devices. So for example, if you are working in a help desk situation and you're helping with technology, well, you need to be able to get onto a computer. Are you going to be able to carve out that time before bed to be off your device 2 hours before bed? Maybe you can't. So maybe you're looking at 30 minutes before bed. Start where you are. Always start where you are instead of saying the excuse, well, my job requires me to be on a computer. There's no way I can be off my devices 2 hours before bed. Fine. You can definitely be off 30 minutes before bed. I'm sure of it. So start where you are, journal, look at your habits, and make a plan. The other thing to do to help with the quality of sleep is to get outside during the day. Now, currently where I live, it is about springtime here. It's very nice out. We can get outside during the day a lot easier than when it was freezing. But nonetheless, still get outside. Try to get outside for 30 minutes at least a day. The reason for this is because sunlight is very important to your sleep quality. So you want to be able to get outside even if it's overcast. You can still get the benefits of sunlight even when it's overcast. So definitely get outside during the day every day. That is going to help with the quality of your sleep. Additionally, you also want to exercise as early as possible for you during the day. Personally, as you all know, I prefer to exercise first thing when I wake up. It sets the stage for my day for so many reasons. But I'm going to just stay focused here and talk about sleep. You don't want to necessarily exercise before you go to bed. Some people will say, oh yeah, I love to exercise before I go to bed because then I'm exhausted and I lay down and I fall right to sleep. That might be true, but again, we are talking about quality of sleep. It is not in your best interest to get really your body all heated and then take a shower and then get into bed. You're better off exercising in the morning, earlier in the day, to get better quality sleep. The other thing that maybe isn't as commonly known is your body temperature. So you want to make sure your body temperature is cool. And our bodies regulate for us. Our body temperature, core temperature, will actually lower as it gets later in the day. And you want to keep a cool room. So I've read in the research that I've read, it's like 65 to 68, whatever feels right to you. I've never felt really good about anything above 68. So keep it nice and cool. If you feel like warm, you can even put some damp cloths on your skin a little bit before going to bed. You want to really make sure you're letting your body's temperature naturally regulate. Okay, so you're not going to want to bundle all up and put all kinds of layers on to get in bed and get really warm. That is not going to provide good quality sleep. Another thing you can try is red light wavelengths. Now I say it like that because I'm not just talking about going out and buying a red light bulb. They need to be red light wavelengths. So you need to do some research. I've done the research. There's plenty out there that you could try. The studies behind that has shown that it does increase melatonin and it doesn't really have an adverse effect on your sleep, the quality of your sleep, like blue light does. You know, it's something you could try. It's not going to hinder your sleep, at least, and maybe it will help. Personally, I've done a lot of research on this. I'll link Sean Stevenson has written a book, Sleep Smarter. There's plenty of other great resources out there. I feel very fortunate that I am a person who has not typically struggled with sleep. I don't really have insomnia. Every once in a while, I think, sure, like everybody else, but nothing that has hindered my sleep over a consistent period of time in regards to being able to fall asleep or stay asleep. Where my issue with sleep came was many years ago when I had my daughter and she did not sleep. She didn't sleep for her first 7 years, basically. We lived a life at night. You know, we took her to Boston Children's. She had sleep studies done, and the story that I always tell because I love it so much, I felt so vindicated, was we brought her for the sleep study. They get all the probes on her head, which that was a nightmare, holding her down to get them to be able to put them on her head. All that aside, we get them on and it gets to be nighttime and they're like, okay, you know, we're going to study her while she sleeps, blah, blah, blah. Well, she doesn't fall asleep. And the technician comes out befuddled from his room because I'm with her and he can see us through the glass. My husband ended up going home because it was getting late and, you know, she's not falling asleep. No surprise to me. And the technician comes out from behind the glass and looks at me befuddled and says, she doesn't sleep. And I'm like, I know. That's why we're here. So we had a lot of struggles with sleep and it definitely takes a toll. Luckily, we've worked past some of those. Some of them are still linger for sure. But ever since that experience and during that experience, I have just been harping on the importance of sleep and the importance of quality sleep. And even quite honestly, I'll even admit, you know, I was like, you know, any sleep I can get is great until we got past the true sleep issues and I started doing some more research and learning more and, you know, more about the quality of sleep. And that's what I'm talking about here. So sure, you can, you know, take a nap during the day, which I personally love. I've also talked about that on the podcast. That's for another time. But you want to work with your body's natural circadian rhythm. And that is where you're really going to get the quality of sleep. So A few action items there for you to try. Pick one or two that speak to you. I will really push for getting rid of the devices before bed. I am doing this podcast on a day after I did a 2-hour no devices before bed, and I honestly loved it. I almost felt so free, regardless of the whole sleep idea and getting better sleep. Shutting down my devices, I planned out through the day. I had a ton of things I had to get done. Had my newsletter to get out, had clients to talk with, had, over Zoom, had work to do, my 9 to 5. So I had really planned my day so that 2 hours before bed, I could shut everything down. And it was so freeing. I literally shut down. I closed my devices. I put my phone away. I just shut everything down. I took out a book that I'm reading and a journal, and it just felt so good. I went outside a little bit before the sunset, enjoyed being out in nature, and just really relaxed. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And I got some really good sleep. As I sign off here, I want to remind you at the time of this recording, Harness Your Morning program begins March 29th. You can sign up by going to my website, drizzleacademy.com. You can sign up there. You can DM me on Instagram at Christine Santos Coach, and message me on Facebook at Christine Santos Coach. Reach out to me if you're interested. Harness Your Morning. If you are looking for some quality time for yourself, increasing your energy, boosting your self-confidence, boosting your productivity, creating more joy in your days, you want to be part of this program. The women that have been in it are loving it. My one-on-one clients love it, and it's really a game changer. And the first place to start is to get some good quality sleep. Wishing you some good sleep tonight, and let me know if you try any of these tips. Until next time, wonder boldly. That's it for this episode. Thank you again so much for listening. And if you want more on how you can boost your energy, increase your productivity, and maximize your positivity, I invite you to go to my website and sign up there. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it. You can take a quick screenshot and share it on Facebook or Instagram. You can find me there at Christine Santos Coach. Until next time, continue to wonder boldly.